So the contraction of the diaphragm is done very same way. Exactly you are doing it. So you can regulate the prana. What you actually, you can hear only and see my breathing or feel my breathing, but you can't see the motion of the prana. The electricity is going through the wire, but we can't see when you look at the wire. You can magnify the wire, still you won't see any electricity or motion of the electrons. So also you can see only the manifestation. When the bulb is shining, we know the electricity is behind, but we can't see the electricity. When the fan moves, you know that electricity is behind the electric fan. When the heater is working, it knows that electricity is behind the heater. Same way, we cannot see the prana, but we can see its manifestation. And when the prana manifests in the physical body, then we breathe. That's called life force or primary force. And this prana we can regulate. That's called pranayama. So when you inhale, you are regulating the impulse to the contraction of the diaphragm, relaxation of the diaphragm, and you retain, you are holding the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, so the impulse won't come at all. You stop the impulse, and then you exhale very slowly with the contraction of the muscles take place in a very regulated way through your own thought. So it's called proportion then. 1:4:2. If you inhale 1 second, you are holding 4 seconds and exhaling twice. So the impulse, if you are inhaling, suppose your inhalation takes 6 seconds, Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 4, Om 5, Om 6. That much time you are controlling the impulse in a slow manner. Then retain the breath 24 seconds. Om 1, Om 2, Om 3, Om 10, Om 24. That means you are holding that impulse not to come. And then you exhale the impulse in a very slow 12 seconds. It's called 1:4:2 proportion. You can go higher proportion, 8:32, 16, or even 16, 64, 32, very highly advanced yogis do higher proportions. You can do according to the. So again, all whether it's smaller proportion, lower or higher proportions, the ratio remains always the same, 1:4:2. That means you are learning to regulate this impulse coming, just like you are learning to regulate the muscles. And when you start lifting a weight, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, you can repeat 20 pounds certain time for 20 times, and then 30 pounds 20 times or 30 times. You increase the strength of your muscles, but it's all done through your thought and impulse. The heavyweight lifters, when the concentration is very poor, they will not be able to lift. So their body maybe they only weigh 125 pounds, but they can lift about 200, 300, double their weight. But they have to concentrate. First of all, they have to hold the breath. They have to concentrate. And without the concentration, that the weight, they will not be able to lift. You all know that. Ask any weightlifters how much concentration is necessary. So they had a breath control, concentration, thought control, and then only they will be able to lift a heavy weight. And suddenly when they were lifting, suddenly a bad noise, suddenly they lose their strength. Then they will not be able to lift that object. The same thing with people playing golf, etc. They are trying to put a tiny ball in a tiny hole. Tremendous amount of concentration. But energy, chemical energy is only very little because it's only about 5 feet away at the hole. And the ball is so tiny. And we have to put that, doesn't take too much chemical energy. But the psychic and the prana, the concentration, thought. Because the thought, the prana, and her eyes, all the vision should be in such a way that will go into the tiny hole. Sometimes they can put 15 feet from a distance. And when suddenly somebody start talking, they won't be able to finish. they will break their head of the person who disturbed them. They use the club on their head, on the ball. So you see concentration. So you see thought and prana, breath control, physical breath as well as pranic control always go. You can't separate them. In all activities, intense power necessary, you have to concentrate. You need prana, thought control, and the pranic control. So that's why yogis are learning to regulate this prana with proportionately every day, and then it becomes a habit for them. Whenever they think, suddenly, automatically they know how to stop the prana, and their concentration becomes very powerful. The thought becomes very powerful, and yogis can create anything they want. Oh, you may say. I'm not talking egoistically. I'm just telling you. I left India without a penny. My master said, go ahead, people are waiting. No ticket, no money, no sponsorship. I never knew whom I'm going to meet, where I'm going to see. I have absolutely no idea. But in last 30 years, we created all these oceans, is it not? And it brought a training. We never existed this type of training. It brought you here to this yoga place. And I brought some Shankarani from South Africa and Chandra from Washington. And we brought all of you. What's the power? It's not money. There's no money. Still, we don't have any money. We always run without penny. But still, somehow, 30 years we went on working. And we were able to do things. Even think peace missions like flying over the Berlin Wall, etc. It's not easy. It's a long story. Anyhow, all this is not just a money because of money. It's because the intense pranayama and the thought control we developed during our sadhana, our spiritual practices, and that brought the strength. Still, I can do anything. I don't need a penny, and somehow the money will come up, and people will come if I really concentrate. That particular thing will take place, and that's called thought. We all have the same power. No one is inferior or no one is superior. The only thing is we are not able to understand the nature of the prana and the thought. We don't believe it. Yesterday, I came out. It was dark central hall, and the people are going to the darkness. They had to only do just pull one button or a switch, you get light. But we don't do that because there's the electricity there. Only thing is you have to switch it on. But we don't do the same thing. We got prana in us, tremendous amount of prana, and we completely block this prana through impurities, negative thoughts, and we are unable to recharge it again as the prana is depleted. Even the recharge takes place very little through your food and ordinary drinking water, etc. And then drugs and other things, chemicals, further destroy the prana or impurities takes place in the nervous system. It's a long subject anyhow. I'll cut short and then I'll explain more detail in the evening. So that prana is this necessary. That's why your body shines. If there's plenty of prana, your face will smile. Your smile has got a special attraction. So your eyes will sparkle. And when there's a prana, that means no old age or wrinkles will not take place. So you see, by taking vitamins, minerals, and protein, that's the only cause of your health. Then you can be healthy all the time. Just only very easy. You can buy $10. You have to buy. That's all you have to. But there's something else which you can't get merely by taking food alone. Though there's prana very limited, like a plastic flower, also some beauty, but it cannot lift you up. So most of the food you are taking is wrong, and the breathing you are only doing shallow breathing. At all you breathe, only take a deep breath when you smoke with a filter, of course. It's a filter to smoke because you don't want polluted air. So you get that air through the filter, and that way you can have pure air, through the filtered air you are smoking, That's the only thing. This all impurities are resistance. So what we are trying to do is to remove these impurities from the nervous system, so the prana can flow easily from astral to the physical, and you can reach our vital chakras, astral chakras, the battery in your astral body, manipura chakra, through the pranayama by regulating and stopping these impulses. Now I just go for next 10 minutes, like electronics. You may understand more electronics than when it's a prana, apana, yin and yang. The oriental words you may not understand, very difficult. But if I use your own words from your daily life, I think you'll be able to understand prana, apana better. So let us take an electronic gadgets. Okay, give me the flashlight. Oh, right thing I got. Just give me the flashlight. No, not like that. Bring the flashlight. Add to flash.
Yeah.
You can flash.
Yeah.
Okay, press it.
Yeah.
Not coming.
Turn it on.
Okay, that's good. Okay. I'm not an electronic expert, but I know a little bit about it. You also know it. And it gave a tremendous light. You have to recharge again. When you know it's recharged.
Light.
Oh yes, light.